More convenient first responder access for Model 3, Fremont is expanding its Supercharger, and some show updates. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 371 for March 2nd, 2018. We open our final show of the week with a YouTube video that has made me feel a little bit better about Model 3. You'll recall Sandy Munro, the CEO of the Munro & Associates car teardown company, lambasting the Model 3 for some largely nitpicky things a little while back. However, the one thing I agreed with him on was the awful conceit in requiring a 12-volt battery in the event of a power loss to pop the frunk for first responders to gain access to kill the car's power from the battery pack. To me, first responders having to lug around a heavy car battery in the unlikely event that they need to access exactly one make and model of a car for a rescue, as I said then, was asinine. But, as it turns out, if not officially supported, apparently you don't need 12 volts or an enormous battery. You only need 9. YouTuber Mark Shea shows us that a simple 9 volt that all of us probably have kicking around in our house somewhere can do the trick and pop the frunk. While I doubt that I'd rely on the thing for more than probably a single access, this is a far more tenable solution for first responders than hauling around car batteries. Next up, we head to Electrek, where some permit sleuthing has uncovered plans for the expansion of the Supercharger installation at Fremont. However, this is no ordinary expansion. The permit details an expansion of 40 stalls. Now, the question here is if the plan is to add 40 stalls to the existing 12, or if when complete there will then be 40. I can see the argument either way, but from the paperwork shown in the article, it looks to me at least that Fremont will be the largest supercharger in the world with 52 stalls. So on factory tour days, it would seem that there will be a bit less supercharger congestion in the future. Finally tonight, just a couple of show notes. For those of you out there that are patrons, you should have received an email letting you know that you can now subscribe to the show via your own personal feed URL on Patreon. The link allows you to access all of the audio content I post as soon as it's available. Double bonus for mega patrons, this also gets you access to the raw recording session without having to log into Patreon, so you can just pick it up direct from your podcasting app with no extra effort. On another note, at the beginning of the year, I mentioned potentially getting set up so that the show could be accepted as an Amazon Echo flash briefing. As of tonight, I submitted that skill off for validation with Amazon, so with any luck, I'll get accepted quickly and you'll be able to wake up with the show by asking for your flash briefing. Lastly, if you're a podcast listener not checking out the YouTube channel, make sure to give it a look, as I've posted a new Tidbits from the Road with some thoughts on Model 3 delay, Model S and Model X deliveries, and more. Make sure you check out the links to the full stories in the show description. While you're at it, please consider supporting the show financially through Patreon at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. As always, thanks to the wonderful super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are John Waltauer, Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Mark and Sarah Thomas, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Bruno Quindici, John Rich, Joey Boots, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Adam Reimer Brown, Megawatt Photovoltaic Development, Todd Sullivan, Robert Healy, and Mitch Long. If you can't support the show with dollars, be sure to show your love with positive reviews and subscriptions on YouTube, iTunes, and other services across the internet. That's it for this week. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. I'll see everyone back here again next week. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.